Hello, riders, and welcome to Goodwind Cafe episode number 2 as we continue our conversations about some interesting topics. And let me ask you the question, Anil and John. Why are riders joining Goodwind Moto Tours guided tours? I mean, why can't they do it themselves? What is it that you guys are doing that makes them come to you again and again and do various tours?
I think it's a lot of wine laced with some narcotic substance. But no, the it's a very interesting question, Amit. Actually, we get asked a lot about this. Why are people doing guided tours when you know the path, you have the bike, you just have Google is there, there is booking.com is there, Google is there. So why do you need a tour company? My understanding is that organized tours are relatively new in the country, and they exist or they are growing because of a very important need that they are actually fulfilling for many riders. In my opinion, that there are people who can do all of that, can plan a ride, can book their own hotels and get everything, but they're either time pressed or they just want to focus on riding. They just don't want to take on the headache of the whole thing, itinerary planning, booking, all that headache. So they just want to focus on riding because you take 10 days off from work. You rather get on a ride where everything is organized for you, where things are taken care of for you, and that one big segment which is growing among Indians.
True. Yeah, that's a good point, Anil, because, this entire thing is new, and we've ridden so many times where we had to make our own plans, and, sometimes you go there, it's not what you expect in terms of the hotels, it falls a little short. Things are not the way you see it on booking.com or whichever site you see it on. And we've had some experiences. And I think while it is new and, we do get asked, when you're on a guided tour, there's a certain peace of mind, right? You basically said, like, concentrate on the ride. That's one. Two, when you're concentrating on the ride, you also start to pay attention to your fellow riders, right? You start, there's a camaraderie that kind of builds between people, right? Which is what also riding is all about, right? And then you tend to focus on the experience. You tend to enjoy your bike better. You tend to enjoy the ride better overall. These are all small factors that play a huge part in terms of the experience. And I think that's what makes guided tours different from a self-guided tour. You're not worried, okay, what time will I reach this place? What am I going to see along the way? Yes, there are the tour basically caters to a median of things. But I still think within that, there's a lot to explore. Everybody gets a space to do what they want to do as a group and even as an individual, right? And I think that's a fantastic thing.
Yeah, one other aspect I think I need to add here is about this entire angle of safety.
Safety, right?
Because, when you're assuming, and that's exactly what a organized tour company should do, is to keep safety upfront and ensure that everyone is aware of the road conditions, the weather conditions. Because, when you are actually doing tours in the mountain, there is, it's not what you perceive it to be till the time you get there, right? The weather changes by the minute. So the tour companies normally have a backup. They have a backup plan. They would have figured out something, or at least you are forewarned that today, we are going to get hit by a hailstorm, or visibility will be low. Versus you going and figuring out yourself, because that is like a bit of a challenge that, when you get there and the whole conditions have changed, you haven't planned it, you were sitting at home, you were looking at Google Maps, you were looking at some earlier information, and then you land up there and the whole thing goes south. So I think, safety is a very, very important aspect for a group
Talking about safety, I think on every ride of ours, we have a lead and we have a sweep.
Yeah.
Right. So everybody is riding within the lead and sweep. And, they feel corseted. They feel comfortable. Even the lady riders who've ridden with us have said that, hey guys, you build a very reasonably safe environment.
Yeah, it's like a framework.
Yeah, and nobody is riding rash. We try, we follow the rules. We stick to a certain guideline of riding. We, at least our briefings dispense the information that is needed for riders to ride safely and enjoyably as well. And even our stops are timed, and when you time your stops, you take your breaks at the right time, to give your butt a break, your mind a break, have a coffee, relax, rejuvenate, hydrate, and push on to the next stage. And all these things just make the ride more enjoyable. And, it's a multitude of things, I think, that makes touring and guided tours special
Absolutely.
and different.
Yeah. So completely agree. I mean, with both of you. And, the motorcycle industry, especially in India, is growing, right? A lot of successful professionals are buying new bikes. Okay. These are expensive bikes, lots of power, all of that good technology. But buying a bike is one, and then what do you do with that? Okay. These are all people busy with their own lives, in their own profession, family life, etc. And how many people have the time to plan a trip, look at the hotels, which hotel to go, where not to go, which have safe parking places, which do not have, food preferences, weather conditions. I mean, it takes a lot of research and understanding and planning to be done to be able to have a nice, enjoyable tour. And that is where I think Goodwind Moto Tours comes into picture, where we bridge the gap, handhold these customers, riders, to embark on a tour and enjoy, rather than getting bogged down with bookings and how much can I do in a day? Can I do 300 kilometers or can I do 400? Now that 100 extra kilometers makes all the difference.
In the mountains, it's a big, it's a lot to do 100 kilometers.
And that's a decision that, the planners and companies like us need to take, where the experience of the lead guide or the tour planner comes into picture. For example, you could do 300 kilometers in 6 hours on a straight road. But if you are doing the Alps, you can't do 300 kilometers in a day, right? And you would end up at the hotel at 6 p.m. in the evening, and then dark. It's already time for dinner and sleep, right? So you've missed out on that entire place. Whereas it would be great if you reach at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. You get time to refresh and then explore So these are the things that I think Goodwind Moto Tours is trying to help our riders with. And they don't have to worry about it. It's us. We take care of that. And talking about safety, it gives them an environment where everything is controlled. So there is a lead, there is a sweep at the back, and the whole group is between that. They don't have to worry about luggage because there is a van following. And I think that's the format in most of our tours. There are some exceptions, but I think that's what we do. And yep.
That's, brings me to the question. Some people have asked me, because, there are a lot of people who've done their own rides, very comfortable, good riders. They, sometimes feel that they might get restricted in a group ride and, come with a group. I get bogged down by someone else's pace. But that's another interesting thing, that we have had some exceptionally great riders. People have done, 18, 20 years of riding, come and thoroughly enjoy, because they realize that the group dynamics change, and we understand that this group is a fast group, or this group has some really good riders and some of them are not good, and we change it accordingly by actually maybe managing the whole thing so that there is enough space and pace for the fast guys to go, relatively faster, and the slower guys who don't want to push themselves are taken care of by sweep coming forward and creating a smaller group. So it is a well thought through and well planned thing. Now, there are also people, and there are people who want to be guided and there are people who don't want to be guided. that is very clearly two segments, and we can't, people who love their solo. And that's why we sometimes do the custom tours, right? The custom tours are mostly people who would come and say that we are a group of guys who have done a lot of rides, but we just want to transfer the headache of the organization to you. But the rest of it we'll manage, and we are fine. We have done so many groups. We've done international with them. We've done domestic tours for a whole lot of people. So all kind of people can do. But the convenience, safety, and all the planning is what really makes a difference, right? And that's something that a little bit of that control, if people give it to companies like us, they can really focus on what they are actually planning to do, which is about ride.
Because riding is it's also discipline, right? When you ride, you have to ride with discipline, and discipline riding is something that is enjoyable. And when that unsaid discipline is maintained amongst everybody has a great time, and which is what is taken care of by the lead and the suite.
Our attempt always is to actually minimize the error factor to such a level where what we spend a lot of time is on probably figuring out what are the challenges that could actually come in the way of creating a mishap or an unfortunate incident. We try and eliminate that to the bare minimum and ensure that there is safety, and everyone who leaves the hotel reaches the next place in one set without any mishap. So one of the things is that is something that John said, that discipline. Naturally, we kind of become the guardians and put the framework for that. So that's one of the very, very important aspect of it. Now, there is another segment which I've noticed very recently. They are new to things, right? And they would not do anything solo. And for them, people like us become the absolute guides and, path givers as far as the tour is concerned. They don't tour on their own. So that segment is really growing. And we have also seen a segment of people who have actually come back to riding after maybe 30 years of not being on a motorcycle, retired, and they've come back. And that silver segment, as we call it, is really growing. So for them, you guys take care of it and, leave the rest to us. So that's an interesting segment.
On every tour, I've seen that you were talking about slower riders or the less experienced riders, right? I have seen that over a period of 7 or 8 days, they go back as a much, much better rider because of what they have seen, what they've heard, some riding techniques, some guidance. And they go back and they are, in that tour itself, you can see that they've gone from this level to this level. And that's a journey that they've started on. And it's great that we are part of that.
It's amazing to see how people grow, develop, gain confidence. See, in fact, I've seen people's mannerism and demeanor change as they gain confidence. They become more, outspoken, much more lively by the middle of the tour. You can't even recognize them. Is this the person who came on day one who's quiet and sitting in the corner? It's amazing to see human transformation.
Talking about the riding aspect and people changing the style of riding, I think we took a cue from some of the tours, the early tours that we had done, and then we figured that, I think imparting training was an important thing, which maybe we could talk about later. But training for getting people to ride, right? Teaching them the right technique to ride. We all ride, right? But somehow riding was never a formal way of doing things. And then the training programs basically got people together, and so we're trying to build a culture of better riding as well.
Yeah, in fact, among all three of us, you have done the maximum miles, but I've seen you doing the breath training. I've seen you going for all kind of training and, all of that. I think it's a great cue because today, as far as a rider is concerned, the learning never stops because the machines are getting better. The road conditions are changing, sometimes for the better, sometimes the traffic is getting, so you can't really bring in your historical knowledge of how a machine works and how your own, riding style is. Also, we realized that in how we were in terms of our reflexes and our hand-eye coordination when you're in the 20s is not going to work for you when you are in the 40s. So you need to recalibrate. I've seen a lot of people actually making that silly mistake of overestimating themselves and getting into trouble because they have done that before. Okay, they have done mountains. They have taken corners in great speed. But when you are at what you did at 20, it's not going to help you, or it's not going to work the same way when you are 40. And when you are 50, you seriously see the reflexes coming down.
And when they were 20, they were probably riding 20 bhp bikes. Today we are riding 120 bhp bikes, right? And they are
with some ridiculous torques.
You have to, absolutely amazing torque. You have to respect these machines. You can't just take them for granted and say, oh, it's okay, I can get on it and ride. No. You have to
I've rode, because another thing, like I rode 700 kilometers on this thing from Bangalore to whatever place. And you can't repeat that today because one, the road conditions have changed. Two, your reflexes and your, overall health and your back and everything is actually not the same. So you got to train yourself. So training is, you're absolutely right, John. That's why the reason why we have made a serious effort, though it's not our core as a company to do training sessions, but we have actually gone out of our way because we see this in groups. We have set up so much of training, opportunities. And we have a phenomenal training session in Panchgani in Maharashtra, where we get the best of best as trainers. Adip, who's the winner of GS Trophy, Kamran, who's won multiple national championship, Vishal. These are phenomenal riders and great teachers. In fact, if any one of you ever want to, come and refresh yourself or pick yourself to the next level, level 2, level 3, whatever it is, it's a great place to come and learn. So the training is a fantastic thing, guys. With us, without us, go sign yourself up for CSS, go to a big rock, go to wherever you want. But every year, please dedicate to 2 to 3 days for some kind of a training. That's very, very critical.
Yeah. And this is something that we tell all the riders, and irrespective of how much of riding experience they have, which, as you said, they must have done it on a 20, 30, 40 bhp bike, and now it's much more bigger, powerful bike. You need different skills to manage that. And there is no way but to get trained. Okay? No other way but to get trained, right? And as Anil said, training is a small part of what we do, maybe once or twice a year. And thanks to Adib, Kamran and Vishal that, we are able to do it in Panchgani, and they are just brilliant instructors. We have learned a lot from them.
Absolutely.
And
we attend those training.
Every time.
We just go there but we've learned. We go through that courses ourselves. We get pushed.
Irrespective of who is conducting the training, a training is always going to help you elevate your skills, whether it's training on the track or it is off-road, whether it's CSS or RACR. There are plenty of training opportunities, and I seriously would like every rider to take this training, because that's going to make you safer and make your riding career longer and more enjoyable. Without training, when you're struggling on the bike to take the corner, whether should I take it now or not take it, that decision making, you don't get it. Okay,
it's
it's a torture.
Yeah, it's not about riding fast, it's riding safe. In fact, it keeps you safe. So the training is to make you a better rider by being a more safer rider. So it's not about the aggressive riding, it is about defensive riding that keeps you on the road for longer. So that's what we firmly believe in. Our fundamental philosophy, when you are young, we are all aggressive riders. We all get to, from point A to point B in, much lesser time. But today, with this road condition, with the traffic that we have around, with cars getting really fast, every vehicle on the road is faster than what it is. It's a newer generation things out there. So you got to be a defensive rider. You have to keep yourself safe. So training, we can't stress that enough. Please do whatever training is possible, whatever within it. Do not cut corners. Do not cringe when it comes to spending on training if you have a bike of a certain caliber and a quality. Okay, now that brings me to the point that we see a whole lot of people riding and all of that, and we see them in the mountains. We see them on highways. We see a whole lot of people. There's traffic jams in Leh Ladakh happening, right, with on the season. So a whole lot of people ask us saying that why are you not doing domestic tour? Why are you not opening more tours in India? So I just want to ask both of you that why have we chosen to do these 4 tours, which is basically 3 tours, 3 domestic and 1 Bhutan, if I may add on the 4th one. Why only Leh Ladakh? Why Spiti? Why only South? Why only Bhutan? Why not 15 other tours in India?
Interesting question. Okay, I think to start off with, the Himalayas is on everyone's wish list.
Mountains are calling.
Mountains are calling, as usual. Yeah, I think that's on every biker's wish list. The moment he gets a 150cc or 200cc bike, the Himalayas is something that they want to do. Having said that, our tours basically, we covered these 4 regions, which is basically Ladakh, Spiti, and the south, because the experience there is quite different, right? On one end, you have the mountains, on the other end, you have the south, right, which offers 2, what do I say, diametrically opposite. The mountains in the south are equally beautiful.
Absolutely.
Right? It's another ball game altogether. It is not on everyone's wish list, right? Although Ladakh is, and Spiti is. So yeah, right now we've just, we've basically kept it to that, right? And the rest of the region, there's a lot to see. There's a lot to see. The Northeast, Rajasthan, Kutch, there's a lot to see there. But I do not know how many people actually, probably want a guided tour there. Maybe we could try it out and see what works.
Of course they want, and we have done it. We have done Ladakh,
we have done
South India, Rajasthan, all of that. And it's not that we are not doing India tours. We've probably taken a small break because we were building our international portfolio, but we are going to do Ladakh, we are going to do South India, and India is blessed with Himalayas and the South with fantastic riding conditions, right? It's full of adventure. India is adventure, I would say. So there is no way that we are not going to do it. I mean, it is something that is planned for next year and we will do it. And I'm looking forward to go to Ladakh because it is just stunning.
Yeah, good.
I do Ladakh like I did last year, and I thought, okay, now I'll take a break. But again, I want to go this year. I can never stop going to Ladakh.
Absolutely, that's one of the things that for what I really like about what we do is the fact that with every tour, when we go back to Ladakh, we are introducing our customers to a newer facet of Ladakh. We just Somareri, which when before anyone was going there. Right, when it became again a beeline to Somareri, we actually brought that in. We did the Zanskar and back into Leh before all the Instagram stories started coming out on that. But the fact is that there is so much to see. We have only scratched the surface on that mighty mountains. That's a phenomenal place. But it's like, if it becomes a bucket list tick mark, like touching the Leh town and coming back, well, that's not the thing to do. You don't need a guided tour. You can just go there because everyone is headed there. Just go, you straight, keep your motorcycle straight and go past Manali, you will end there.
I think that's what's made Ladakh and Spiti the over-tourism.
Yeah.
I think this is what has done it the over-tourism in that region. Because when we tour Ladakh, I think we take it a little easy.
Yes.
Right? We stop by at the passes. People actually, spellbound by the views that they get, especially around that Kargil region when you're on a clear.
Because you have to stop there.
It's just fantastic.
That's a very important thing. The Ladakh beauty. If I were to put Ladakh in one word, it is beauty, and that's what you need to focus on. It is not only adventure. It is absolutely
Yes, sir.
stunning.
I mean, my favorites are that Kargil to Namikala and Fotula, and the view of the mountains and the snow cap, and the road. The ride is like, it's like a MotoGP tracks. And so Ladakh is a mix of everything, right?
Yeah.
And because we start from Srinagar, we get to see the green, initial green part of it, and then we get into the brown when we get to Namikala, Fotula, and then finally to Leh. And it just gives you every kind of experience, right? Fantastic roads, low roads, river crossings, sand, all of that. So it's fantastic adventure.
I mean, for me, it is, the Spiti tour of ours. It's similar. It's very different from the Ladakh tour, but what we focus on Spiti is culture. Because the Kinnaur culture, the Lahore Spiti culture, and back to Manali where, and then eventually back to Chandigarh, we were actually moving from very different mountain cultures and landscape. And most importantly, the food.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that region, and we go out of the world. In fact, I've had compliments from people said that we were serving world cuisine in one of the world's highest
Top of the mountain.
desert, which is in Kaza. The food, people said, we just can't even believe that we are eating Mediterranean and Iranian food coming there. The kind of local fare that we get in Kalpa, the last village, Chitkul, all of that. So this is what this is the reason that you need to go to these places. Explore the local culture, and the food is a gateway to that culture. Right?
And while the mountain tours are popular, Ladakh, Spiti, all of that, I would say from a rider's point of view, if you like twisties, South India is just incredible. The amount of and the roads are fantastic, especially in Tamil Nadu. Okay, the amount of hairpin bends, twisties coming down from Kodaikanal. Oh my God, it's just endless amount of twisties. And if you are a rider who likes twisties, I think
Amit, it's South India is one of the most undiscovered part for motorcyclists in India, and people, have a very wrong impression that South India, it is all green and you're riding straight.
People only know Kerala. If you say South India, it's usually, Kerala. Yeah, usually it's that. But there's
I mean, when you say
larger
people, it's people from the north
from people
or
from the north.
west or east.
West rather. Yeah. No, but the interesting fact that did you know that Ooty is in the same height as Manali? And if you get to Ooty in January, you will feel more cold than in Manali. And there are people who've come there. I'm coming to South India, and they came with mesh jackets and t-shirts, and they frost their backside so badly that the what do you call so-called campfire is lit, and in 5 seconds everyone disappeared because it was like they couldn't take it. So, and the food again, South is idli dosa. Okay, no. In fact, it is I can guarantee you one thing, and it's an open challenge. If you don't gain three kilos by the end of the tour, your money is refunded.
It was good.
The Good Meals tour. The name came from there. People who came there and gone back with extra baggage.
South India.
That's what we've been branded as.
The food. I mean, I love South Indian food, and I can't say enough about the fact that every place on the South tour, when we move from Ooty to Valparai to Kodai, the food changes, right from the idli dosas, which just melt in your mouth, to the biryani and polachi, to some,
The parothas and all of that.
So it's
Fish gravy.
it's a food trip. For me, it's a food trip. And the second, after that comes the riding.
Yeah, but it's a phenomenal riding destination, South of India. So, I mean, the fact that there's so much to see in our beautiful country.
Yeah.
When we do Sikkim, we did Sikkim in the past, we will come back to that. But even Bhutan, which we start from Siliguri and go, it's a phenomenal. When you cross the border, it's a transformation.
Bhutan is a very different ride. Bhutan, as even though they are right next to us, right, the country is so different. The country has been, it's not just for anything why they are called the last Shangri-La, because the country is so different. It's just like stuck in a time warp. They are 30 years behind us, but everything
Deliberately
works.
so.
They're
Deliberately
yeah.
30 years.
That's how the king has maintained it. He has not let technology take hold of their lives. And I'll not say they are primitive of any sorts. They are very well up to date on things, very well cultured, but everything is measured and given out in a good way. And the land is so protected. The roads are fantastic. The landscapes are stunning. The roads are, by the way, all credit due to the Indian Army there. They maintain the roads.
BRO.
The BRO built the roads for Bhutan. And they love Indians, and the landscape is fantastic.
And the twisties.
Twisties, the food, it depends on whether you like it or not. But yeah, the food is lovely for those who, it's a very limited menu, but it's great to taste. It's very nice. It's an experience, to ride through Bhutan, the culture,
Again,
the people.
John, many Indians who haven't explored that place, or they would have gone, they took a flight, they went to Paro, Thimphu back, right? But when you go on a two-wheel and when you go into the interiors of Bhutan, Punakha, Pobjika, wonderful.
Bumthang is the
Mind-blowing.
Switzerland of it's equal to Switzerland.
Yeah, it is.
You can be there and, anyone can just turn around and say, if you've been to the Swiss Alps, you just say, yeah, this is it.
Yeah, and it's right next door for us. Right next door for us, It's amazing. Yeah, so much to do. And, we just want, this is our business, but we just want people out there to take out their bikes and ride with us, with somebody else, or on your own. I just want this culture of Indians exploring. And that's one of the reasons for us, the motivation for us to do is to take Indians to parts of the world where they otherwise would have gone as a tick mark or fly down and just explore around. But when you're on a two-wheel, there is no better way to see a place than when you're on a two-wheel. Okay? And talking about it, and that takes me to the wonderful tours that we do outside the country. Because again, for many years, we Indians restricted our travel to predictable places. One of the countries that we visit a lot is Singapore and Malaysia and Thailand, Dubai. Even if we go to Europe, we go to Paris, we go to Frankfurt, the popular places. The known places. And then we are also, because we are also restricted by the flight connections and what you see, you just see a city and come back.
Right.
But the real beauty of Europe, real beauty of many of the places, it's beyond these big cities. And we're so glad that now Indians have come to that stage to say, okay, listen, we're done with all of this. We want to see the next one. And that's why our European tours, we have, amazingly spirited Indians who come in.
And while we have toured and visited all these places, or many places, I think we are able to take it to the next level because of our team. We have Dushan, who is our Europe partner and has been into guided tours for the last maybe 2 decades. So there is no country in Europe which he has not ridden, and he knows all those places in and out, which restaurant to go, where not to go, which road to take, what not to take.
And now he knows enough about where Indians will get food.
Right. And yeah, of course, he's trained on Indians.
He's even trained on Jain food.
Dushan does all that. We also have Freddie and Luca, and who've been part of our tours. And
fantastic
team
Thomas
that we've
in South
built.
Africa.
Thomas in South
and
Africa.
Nicole
Jackie.
Thomas and Jackie in South Africa. And now we have Daniel and team in Thailand. And we have blessed with some really good partners who've been able to understand what the new Indian is looking for. But having said that, the new Indian is amazing. We are witnessing a revolution where a bunch of Indians are coming forward and saying that, listen, we want to go and, explore the world. And I want to share with you guys, on the last tour, I was in Grand Balkan, and we reached a hotel lobby, Dubrovnik. Okay, we reached a hotel lobby, and there is an Indian lady who came to us, and they said, okay, we've been watching these bikers coming, and we were and when they stopped and everyone took out the helmets, I saw the Indians, and you're all my age. She was 60 plus. Few of us protested violently, but they said, "I'm so glad that you guys are doing it." And she was surprised and amazed and proud that we Indians are riding for 12 days around the back alleys of the most stunning places in Europe, Balkan countries.
Speaking about Europe, I would like to say that this year, the Greece tour has just stunned me completely. I mean, we did our first Greece tour in March.
Right.
And that is one tour which has been planned to just explore a lot of Greece. As in, we start in Athens, we go up in the mountains to Delphi and to Meteora, and then we come down to the Peloponnese, which the view of the Mediterranean.
And many Indians wouldn't have seen it.
No, and the Peloponnese is a huge area in Greece. Most of the Indians have just seen Santorini, and they think Greece is white walls and blue windows, and Greece is not at all that. I mean, that's the first thing I tell anybody who's asking about Greece, that don't expect Santorini. We don't go there. If you want to do Santorini, come 2 days earlier, go there and come. But the rest of the Greece, places like Monemvasia, Nafplio, they're just, there's the Venetian architecture, and it's just mind-blowing. Okay.
Would you say that Indians are the new age explorers?
Absolutely.
I mean, like
the fact is that
the US guys, yeah.
5 years back, I would have said we Indians are, what we call the bus tour experts who sit in the bus, go from place to place, take some pictures, come out. But I've completely changed. The appetite for exploration is absolutely increasing.
All the visa consulates are overwhelmed, right?
Overwhelmed.
Now we are changing that because they are granting long-term visas now.
Correct, absolutely. And now visas are getting processed faster for our guys. So, got it, because they now see, okay, initially they used to be very suspicious, Indians and motorcycle tour. There is something wrong. They had to double check and triple check and all of that. But now they know, okay, we've now seen hundreds of Indians, coming and booking tours, coming back, all of that they've seen. So like Greece, Alps, but John actually, I've done many times. It's
Alps is, it's again a fantastic place. A lot of people just go to the Swiss Alps. You just stay there, Zurich or something, and come back. But when we ride the Alps, we start from Slovenia. Not many people know where Slovenia is. We start from Ljubljana, yes, Julian Alps. And again, the Alps has, many shades to it, right? And when you start from Slovenia, you go around, you do the Swiss Alps, you do the Austrian Alps, cross Glockner. Fantastic roads, fantastic scenery. And then you move on, you get into Italy, you do the Dolomites, right? Again, people have just seen poster Dolomites, or they just go to, Lake Como or something like that and try and come out. But so we do the Stelvio.
one of the world's best roads, the most famous road, Stelvio, is there in our Alps tour.
And it's a fantastic ride all the way through. And then we come back to Ljubljana, and that 10-day, 11-day trip is just mind-blowing. I mean, it's...
Talking about Ljubljana, we have a tour called the Grand Balkans, and a lot of people don't know where the Balkans are, and I mean, it again falls into the trap of, only going to certain known cities. But Balkans are one of the most stunning parts of the world, which is actually Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia, and Montenegro, which is only a part of the Balkans. There are Serbia. The Balkans are a very large region, but our Balkan tour, Croatia, my God, it takes the cake. I mean, I can't. I don't know to choose.
Yeah.
Whether I know is Bosnia more stunning, or is Montenegro and Durmitor? Oh my God! Like we have had people going gaga on it. Don't know where to choose and what to it. But the fact is that these are not forming a part of a natural itinerary where Indians think about going abroad.
It's off the map.
And for example, Croatia is almost like a mirror image of Italy. Half the price of many things, right? I can't be partial to that because we are doing Italy, and Italy is Italy. And a motorcycle tour in Italy, the land of Valentino Rossi and, all those legends. So we are doing that too. But Grand Balkans is amazing.
Sarajevo.
Oof. Yeah.
A city with so much character.
I mean, if you like history and if you are a World War buff and post-World War stuff, Sarajevo is one. I mean, it's an amazing city. It's like a party capital of that world.
And if you've seen, all these tours have a lot of history. While Sarajevo has history, which is war history, which is not very old. I mean, it was in the 90s.
80s.
But many of our other tours, like Greece, has so much history. It starts with a city walk in Athens, the Oracle of Delphi, in Meteora we have the monasteries, and everywhere what we do to enhance the experience is to organize guided tours with local guides who know it the best, and they can tell you a story which you won't find it in the books, right, or on the internet. And that's part of what we do.
Yeah, that's the only way to keep the memories alive, right? It's the only way that, otherwise, you've done a tour, you've done everything, but what stays with you are these beautiful stories.
In Greece, we visited Olympia, where the first Olympic Games happened.
Wow.
And our group had an Olympic race.
Yes, I still.
Where
I've seen that video.
Everybody stood in one line, in all the gear, and ran towards the finish line.
Yeah.
And we also crowned the winner.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, that beautiful things like that. Again, when we talk about our international tours, I cannot ignore South Africa, and this is one of the places where the most misunderstood and misinformation that has gone about what Africa is, how unsafe it is, all of that. Unfortunately, they've not been able to manage their PR well. But I must tell you that every team that we have taken, every group that have come back singing gaga about the country, it is the most stunning landscape. You have the world's most beautiful road like Chapman's Peak Drive. It is like you better keep your eye forward, otherwise you will go off the cliff because it is so stunning, you don't know where to look.
It's like the Great Ocean Road.
Absolutely. It is better. In fact, John, for me, it's better than the US West Coast. The West Coast Drive, the Pacific one. It is so stunning. And then you start going in interiors, you see the Karoo land, and then your safaris, and then the wine land. And I've been accused of selecting all the tours that we mentioned only on wine producing countries, which I played
clicks places where they produce wine.
As a very, very strict condition that if you don't produce wine, there is no tour. Okay?
We are not going there.
And I challenge you that anyone who doesn't like wine, come on a Goodwind tour, and I will make you a wine connoisseur by the end of it. And I have
don't scare everybody.
Wine lessons. Jokes
on
about
that note, gentlemen, I think we need to. I need to ask you all the question about favorite tours.
Okay. I mean, in fact, we have not discussed one part of the world, which is the Thailand.
Oh, yes.
And again, people smirk when they say Thailand tour.
Right.
And that's precisely why last time after the tour, I actually got everyone to speak on camera and everyone started off. Thailand is not what you think it is, because the northern Thailand is one of the most gorgeous and one of the best places for motorcycling. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Northern Thailand, which is where you come to the golden triangle of Burma, which is now Myanmar, Laos, Cambodia, and you have the Mekong River flowing, and you have Thailand on the bottom. And that MHS loop, okay? I don't want to, kill it by actually saying what it is. It is Mae Hong Son MHS is right on top of most of the British motorcyclists a list of must-do roads in the world.
You made it sound like French here.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Is it the wine?
Must be. Wine time.
But we are sold. I think we are all going this year.
Yeah, we are. Okay.
Because we want to ride.
So we're going as customers this year. We're saying, okay, listen, we want to ride. Where would be the best place to ride for us who are avid motorcyclists?
Yes.
Northern Thailand.
Northern Thailand it is.
The Chiang Mai to the northern point and back. It is the great temples, great food, outstanding roads. What a phenomenal thing. Okay, now that we've covered everything, now voting time. John is asking what's your what would be our favorite ride. Like I'm torn, so I'll pass it on to Amit to pick.
I'm going back to Greece for sure. Yeah.
Okay. So Greece is your number one tour?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm
Awesome. Anything else? You want to rank 1, 2, 3?
No, you said number one is one.
Okay, I would pick South Africa. The Garden Route, the Cape Dreams tour as my favorite because it's the best place that I've ever been to anywhere in the world in terms of food. Riding is outstanding, the topography is stunning, but even at a local coffee shop, you get the best quality food, and it's so diverse. You will get from the Indian curries to continental food to the African flavor. My God, it's a ride.
And I think I'd pick the Alps. Yeah, it's stunning. Alps is a wonderful place. I love the mountains.
Yeah,
I love to see snow-capped mountains, and riding in the Alps, especially around that Grossglockner and again Italy and Canazei, and the beauty is stunning. I mean, the beauty is just stunning. You're just riding with your mouth open, saying, "How can a place be so beautiful?" You know, there's lake on one side, and like when we ride to Saint Maurice, it's stunning. The evening sunlight, riding through, it's just fantastic. And and then since we partly go into Italy, you experience the hospitality and stuff like that. It's a stunning tour. It's a stunning ride.
So if I were to ask you, we picked all international. It's not that we are biased towards international, right?
No way.
But if you were to pick a domestic tour, what would you go?
It's Ladakh for me.
Okay.
I'm torn. I'd probably go with Ladakh.
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm really torn. I want to say Spiti because it is one of my favorite places on earth. But south, the Nilgiris, the South Mountains.
You can't have just one.
Yeah.
Yes.
It has to be Ladakh and South India for me.
Correct. For me, therefore Spiti and South India.
Likewise. Likewise. I mean, they all rank. If I'm supposed to bring in Bhutan as well, they all rank evenly. It's really tough to pick one.
Yeah.
But if you really ask me, I'll say Ladakh.
I often get asked, which should I do, Alps or should I do Balkans?
Is that a question to ask?
I'm kind of divided in.
You get torn.
I can't.
Yeah, just get out and go. I mean, absolutely. You know what, guys? What is this? This conversation has made me do. I'm actually to ride out. I just want to get onto a motorcycle. I want to get out because enough of sitting in a comfortable sofa.
You want to wear your jacket? It's right there.
Jacket is hanging right behind. Helmet is right there. Keys are wearing my boats. You get out because that's what we want you guys to do. Yeah. We want you guys to get out and ride. Organized tour or not. Just
we are
don't.
There to help.
Yeah, we will be. We are there. We're happy to help. Talk to us. Talk to any one of us. Reach out to us. We're happy to talk to you about how should you plan. If you don't want to take any of those headaches, just sign up on one of our tours. Just come on, figure out, because I'm warning you, it's an addiction that later on don't come and tell us that you got us hooked. We have issues at home right now. My wife has not seen me and she's like, complaining.
Carry a sleeping bag.
Get her along because she's going to be hooked too. Yeah, absolutely. I'm saying, guys, jokes apart, please ride for goodness sake. When you ride with us, we take care of everything. The world is out there to explore, and what better way to see the world? There is no better way to see the world than on a motorcycle, because that's that freedom, and you're in the place. You're arriving there. You're not coming with a window in front.
You
are the place. You are in there. Yeah. That feeling that opens your mind. It changes you as a person. You understand cultures. You meet human beings. You will have a better idea about the world. You have a better appreciation of the world. Your mind expands. Your soul expands. Probably this is the only way to nirvana. Okay, did I oversell it? No,
I think so.
Stop. We all need to go on a ride now.
Yeah.
Okay, and last but not the least, guys, if I were to throw you one reason to do that, Either you can go with anyone, but when you come with us, there is a life that you will change, because a large part of what we make, and as we told you in the earlier episode, Amit is running his own ventures. I run my own venture. John is a filmmaker. He has his own company. We are doing this because we want to actually get people to explore the world in a better way, but while doing that, make a difference. So right, for goodness sake, if there is something positive that we can change the world, life of a child in need. And so therefore our motto, which we have put here, is feel good, do good, is coming from that spirit. But please get and write, okay, with or without us. Start the bike, get going.